Book 1 Chapter 14 On the birth of Suka Deva and the duties of householders. Suta said, O Maharshis, now hear the main topic. Seeing the dark blue lady looking askance at him, Vyasa Deva thought, Indeed, what is to be done now? This Devkanya, Apsara Ghrtaachi, is not fit for my household. Then, seeing Vyasa Deva deep in thought, the Apsara feared that the Muni might curse her and became terrified. Confounded by terror, she assumed the form of a Suka bird and fled. Vyasa was greatly surprised to see her take the form of a bird. The moment Vyasa saw the extraordinarily beautiful form of Ghrtaachi, Cupid entered his body. His mind became filled with thoughts of a sweet feminine form, gladdening him. His entire body was thrilled with pleasure, causing the hair on his skin to stand on end. Muni Vyasa Deva tried his best and exerted his utmost patience, but he failed to control his restless mind from desiring the woman. Though he was highly disciplined and repeatedly attempted to restrain his heart, enchanted by the beautiful form of Ghrtaachi, he could not. It was as if his mind was bound by a fate preordained by God. In this state, while rubbing the fire sticks to kindle the sacred fire, his seed, semen, fell upon the Arani, the two pieces of wood used for igniting the sacred fire. But he took no notice of it and continued rubbing the fire sticks. Then, from that Arani, arose the wonderfully beautiful form of Suka Deva, who looked like a second Vyasa. This boy, born from the Arani fuel, shone brilliantly like the blazing fire of a sacrificial altar upon which ghee is poured. Seeing his son, Vyasa Deva was struck with great wonder and thought, What is this? How has this son been born without a woman? After pondering for a while, he concluded that this had certainly happened as a result of a boon granted to him by Shiva. No sooner had the fiery Suka Deva been born from the Arani than he shone brilliantly like fire, radiating his own tejas, spiritual energy. At that moment, Vyasa Deva gazed steadily at the blissful form of his son, who shone like a second Grihapatya fire, radiant with divine brilliance. O hermits, the river Ganges flowed down from the Himalayas and purified all the inner nerves of the child Suka Deva with her holy waters, while showers of flowers were poured upon his head. Vyasa Deva then performed all the natal ceremonies for the high-souled child. Celestial drums resounded, and divine nymphs began to dance, while the lords of the Gandharvas, Visvavasu, Narda, Tumburu, and others sang with great joy at the sight of the newborn son. All the Devas and Vidyadharas, with gladdened hearts, began to chant hymns upon seeing the divine form of Vyasa's son, born from the Arani. O twice born ones! Then, from the sky, the divine rod, Danda, Kamandalu, and antelope skin descended. No sooner had the extraordinarily brilliant Suka Deva been born than he grew up. Vyasa Deva, the master of endless knowledge and its impartation, performed his son's Upnayana ceremony. No sooner had the child been born than all the Vedas, with their secrets and epitomes, began to flash in the mind of Suka Deva, just as they resided in Vyasa Deva. O Munis, Bhagavan Vyasa Deva named the child Suka, as at the moment of his birth, he had seen Ghrtaachi in the form of a Suka bird. Suka then accepted Brihaspati as his guru and devoted himself wholeheartedly to the brahmacharya vow, diligently observing the life of studentship and celibacy. Muni Suka stayed in the house of his guru, studying the 4 Vedas along with their secrets and epitomes, as well as all the Dharma Shastras. He duly offered dakshina to his guru according to proper rules, and then returned home to his father, Krishna Dvaipayana. Seeing his son Suka, Vyasa Deva rose, received him with great love and honor, embraced him, and took the fragrance of his head. The holy Vyasa inquired about his well-being and studies, and requested him to stay in that auspicious ashrama. Vyasa then thought about Suka's marriage. He became anxious and began to search for a suitable bride from a Muni's family. And he spoke to his son, O highly intelligent one, you have now studied all the Vedas and Dharma Shastras. Therefore, O sinless one, it is best for you to marry now. My son, take a beautiful wife, lead the life of a householder, worship the Devas and Pitris, and free me from my debt. There is no other path for those without offspring. They can never attain heaven. So, O highly fortunate son of mine, enter the life of a householder and bring me happiness. O highly intelligent one, I have great expectations from you. Now, fulfill them. O greatly wise Suka, after severe asceticism, I have obtained you, a Deva born without a womb. Therefore, as your father, I beseech you, save me. When Vyasa spoke to Suka in this manner, making him sit close by, the highly dispassionate Suka immediately realized that his father was deeply attached to the world and replied, "O knower of dharma, by the power of your great intelligence, you have divided the Veda into 4 parts. Why then are you advising me in this manner now? I am your disciple, so give me true guidance, and I will certainly obey your command." At this, Vyasa Deva said, "O son, I obtained you after performing severe tapasya for 100 years and worshipping Bhagavan Shankara with the sole desire of having you. O highly wise one, I will ask a king to provide you with sufficient wealth for your family expenses. So, having attained this much desired youth, you should enjoy the life of a householder." Hearing these words from his father, Suka Deva said, "O father, tell me, what pleasure exists on this earth that is not mixed with pain? Happiness that is intertwined with suffering is not considered true happiness by the wise. O highly fortunate one, if I marry, I will inevitably become submissive to my wife. Tell me then, how can true happiness exist for one who is dependent, especially on a wife? One may eventually attain freedom if bound to an iron or wooden pillar, but a man tied by his wife and children will never be free. Just as a man's body is full of urine and faces, so too is a woman's body. Moreover, since I was not born from a womb, how can I find happiness in such a life? Not only in this birth, but even in my previous birth, I had no desire to be born from a womb. How can I now desire to indulge in the pleasures of flesh and filth when faced with the bliss of the self, which has no equal? High-souled beings who find joy within themselves never pursue the fleeting sensual pleasures of external objects. When I first studied the Vedas in detail, I realized that they primarily expound the Shastra of Karma Marga, the path of action, which is inherently filled with himsa, violence, or injury to others. Then I accepted Brihaspati as my guru to show me the path to true wisdom. However, I soon realized that he too was afflicted by the dreadful disease of avidya, ignorance, and was deeply immersed in the vast ocean of the world, filled with Maya. It became clear to me, how could he possibly save me? If a physician is himself afflicted by disease, how can he cure others? When I seek liberation, how can I attain it from a guru who is deeply attached to the world? How can such a person free me from the disease of worldly attachment? It would be nothing but a farce. I bowed down to my guru, yet now I have come to you, seeking salvation, terrified by the dreadful serpent of Samsara. Day and night, beings revolve in this relentless wheel of Samsara, like the sun moving through the zodiac, never finding rest. O Father, if we sincerely reflect on the truth of the Atman, we will immediately see that there is no trace of true happiness in the samsara. Just as worms find pleasure amidst filth, so too do ignorant people find pleasure in the samsara. Those who have studied the Vedas and other Shastras yet remain attached to the world are certainly deluded and blind, like horses, pigs, and dogs. No one is more foolish and ignorant than such people. Getting this extremely rare human birth and studying the Vedanta and other Shastras, if they be attached to this world, then who are the men that will attain freedom? What more wonder can you find in this world than the fact that persons attached to wives, sons and houses are denominated as pandits? The one who is not bound by this samsara, composed of the 3 gunas of Maya, is a true pandit. That person alone is intelligent and has understood the real essence of the Shastras. What is the use of studying the Shastras in vain if they only serve to bind men more firmly to the samsara, full of Maya? The only Shastra worth studying is the one that teaches the path to liberation. The house is called Griha because it firmly binds a man. How can one expect happiness from a house that is like a prison? O Father, this is why I am afraid. Those so-called pandits are certainly foolish and have been deceived by the Creator. Despite being born as human beings, they allow themselves to become imprisoned once again. Hearing these words from Suka, Vyasa replied, O son, the house is not a prison, nor is it the cause of bondage. A householder whose mind remains unattached can still attain moksha, despite living a worldly life. By being truthful, holy, earning wealth through just means, performing rites and ceremonies as prescribed in the Vedas, and duly conducting shraddhas, a householder can certainly attain moksha. A brahmachari, an ascetic, a vanaprasthi, or anyone following other vows must all seek the householder support after midday. The righteous householder, in turn, welcomes them with kind words and offers them food with great love and respect, thereby performing a noble duty. For this reason, The householder stage is the most excellent of all. I have neither seen nor heard of any other ashrama superior to it. This is why Vasishtha and other acharyas, despite being endowed with great wisdom, chose the life of a householder. O highly fortunate one, if a person diligently performs the rites and ceremonies prescribed in the Vedas, nothing remains impossible for them. Be it birth in a noble family, the enjoyment of heavenly pleasures, or even moksha, whatever one desires can be attained through proper actions. Moreover, there is no rule that one must remain in the same ashrama throughout their life. The Pandits who understand dharma say that a person may transition from one ashrama to another. Therefore, O child, accept Agni, the sacred fire of the householder, and strive diligently to fulfill your duties without interruption. O son, enter the life of a householder and appease the devas, pitris, and men. Procreate sons and enjoy the pleasures of household life. When old age comes, leave the household and enter vanaprastha, the third stage of life. Retreat to the forest, observe the highest vows, and finally embrace the dharma of sannyasa, the renunciation of all worldly attachments. O fortunate one, he who does not take a wife is surely overwhelmed by the uncontrollable 5 organs of action, the 5 senses, and the mind. Therefore, the makers of the Shastras declare that to protect oneself from the harmful influences of these unruly senses, one should take a wife during youth and later engage in tapasya during old age. O fortunate one, in ancient times, the fiery Rajarshi Vishwamitra practiced severe tapasya, abstaining from food for 3,000 years. Though he was strong and shone like fire, he was enchanted by the celestial nymph Menka. From their union, an auspicious daughter was born from Menka's womb. My father, Parshara, though a great ascetic, was struck by Cupid's arrows at the sight of Kali, the daughter of a fisherman, and accepted her while in the boat. What more need be said that this, when Brahma saw his own daughter, Sandhya, he was overcome by passion and ran after her. It was then that Bhagavan Rudra Deva, with his thunderous humkara sound, rendered Brahma unconscious and stopped him from his attempt. So, O fortunate one, accept my words, which are filled with wisdom and good counsel. Marry a woman from a noble family and follow the path prescribed in the Vedas. Thus ends the 14th chapter of the first book, The Birth of Suka Deva and the Duties of Householders, in the Mahapurana Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, consisting of 18,000 verses, composed by Maharshi Vyasa.